It's time for Real Talk with Brian and Dan, the weekly talk radio show dedicated to discussing important real estate topics, plus insight into the local community. With a combined experience of over 50 years as local real estate brokers from the East Side Real Estate team at Keller Williams Realty Bellevue. Here's your hosts, Brian Levitt and Dan Edwards.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Real Talk with Brian and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Brian.
Welcome to the show. We have a great one lined up for you this week. We have Sean Tournquist of Seattle Modern Office and Michael Santiago of Nerds to Go. But first, let's have some real talk.
So, Dan, tell me about the economy and impact on real estate.
Okay, that's a loaded question.
I know
let's talk
is.
about that. The economy, as many people last week, economic numbers came out, GDP came out, and I'm not an economist, so I don't know what any of that stuff means.
What are you seeing in the real estate marketplace?
But what I'm seeing is that the buyers that we're interacting with right now are very positive. So they have some confidence in the sense that they're going to be somewhere for a while.
So how's your open house traffic? That's often an indicator.
Yeah, well, this weekend we held your Demery Hill home open in Sammamish, and I believe we had, on Saturday, you had about 13, 14
I
parties.
had 14 groups,
Okay.
about 60 people altogether.
And all of them were motivated buyers.
Motivated buyers, confident.
It was kind of interesting to see whether or not they were looky-loos, whether they were just kind of out there checking to see. It's kind of funny as you look at the housing market in relation to, I saw a report on the fastest growing cities in the nation, which ones are actually adding new construction. And Seattle was number 9.
Interesting.
So,
Okay.
and I think their new building permits were up 2.9%. So, Austin was in there, Dallas was in there, LA was in there, new construction. So a lot of the new builds, the folks that are doing new construction, they're only going to do it if they see a long-term economic outlook, right? The resales are kind of resales. They're going to do what they're going to do. And then, as we know, Amazon has refreshed their HQ2, and essentially it's being put around the Seattle area.
So I know in Sammamish, I'm seeing an awful lot of new construction in the 1.2 million plus.
Oh, plus.
And I'm seeing it move.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just amazes me how much money is in the marketplace
Yeah.
that I'm seeing these buyers pour in that price point.
Yeah, and new construction, one of the things that you want to pay attention to is, because it's going up so fast, pay attention to the quality.
Right.
Always recommend getting an inspection. We talked about that last week. All right, well, so that's the economy. Let's shift gears to cost of renting versus buy. Yeah.
So if you're renting, you are paying a mortgage. It's just not yours. So that's one of the things we often encourage people is if you decide to put down roots, it's a good time to buy.
A lot of people are talking about how millennials don't really value homeownership. What do you see in there?
I think we're seeing more and more millennials move to a stage of life where they're recognizing the benefits. I have 4 kids. I've got millennials of my own I'm talking with, and they're realizing that some real economic benefits of homeownership by, in essence, a forced savings account. You see home values appreciate, but putting that rent into something long term, there's instead of rent, a mortgage, and then having that pride of ownership. I'm starting to see that more and more frequently. And I think the biggest objection I hear when I talk to millennials is it's become harder to accumulate a down payment because of some of the employment prospects out there. But we have down payment assistance programs. We have ways of making it work. So I'd say to our listeners, if that's holding you back, give us a call. We have ways of helping you with that down payment.
Yeah, one of the things that I've seen in the past with down payment assistance programs is if you made a working wage, you really didn't qualify, right? So I believe Washington State Housing Finance Commission upped their minimum. Is it minimum or maximum
income
up to 130-ish. One of our lenders can tell us what it is.
Right.
But having a working wage means you can actually afford to get that down payment. And there's other ways to get down payments. What are some of the more creative ways some of your clients have acquired a down payment for?
Well, it's interesting. I've found very frequently family members who are willing to help.
Right.
You just got to go ask. And surprisingly, often this is gifts or sometimes it's loans, but family members who will help, but also employers who have down payment assistance programs. And then we have both grant money and loan money available for down payment. typically a loan is not permissible for down payment, but within these programs, it's designed specifically for that.
So one of the things that I've often done in this rent versus buy analysis is I'll do a side-by-side comparison.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some good tools with the Northwest Multiple where you can actually plug in a rent amount, you can plug in a savings amount over 5 years, and you can plug in what your mortgage might possibly be, and it'll tell you what the cost of renting versus buying is over a certain amount of years. Many of the listeners out there want something like that. They can just email us at radio@theeastsiderealestateteam.com. But what's funny about that is when you show it to somebody, it's important that you point out to them the like kind property. Right? Because if you're comparing a one-bedroom condo apartment to a three-bedroom house, well, of course it's going to be cheaper to rent than to buy.
Right.
But if you're talking about a three-bedroom house,
apples.
three-bedroom house in Issaquah or a three-bedroom house in Bellevue, the price is going to be a little different, right?
Right.
And I've heard there's softening on the rental market. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to that, but there's a lot of new rentals going out right now.
Right.
So it may be, it's something that you would want to really carefully analyze.
So one of the things I've heard, there was a National Association of Realtors statistic out recently I read. So correct me if I'm wrong, but accumulation of wealth, renter to owner, my memory is that owner had 45 times more
45
wealth accumulated than the typical renter.
So why do you how does that math work?
I think a lot of it is that a home is the biggest asset that most people will own, and if you understand the concept of leverage, when a home appreciates, you get the percentage increase on the entire value of the home, not your down payment.
Yeah.
So say you put I'm going to use real easy math. A 10% down payment on a $100,000 house. And there's no $100,000 houses out there, but easy math. And you get a 10% growth. Well, you doubled your money. You didn't get 10% of 10,000. You got 10% of 100,000.
Right.
And so I think that the home appreciation is a big factor in that accumulation of wealth.
Yeah.
But also every month you're paying down that mortgage. You're building equity through eliminating the mortgage.
Well,
so
and a part of that is you're paying interest, right? You're paying interest, but you're also paying principal, which is basically a fancy word for forced savings plan.
Yes, and also you're getting the tax benefits of home ownership. The interest is deductible. You get the benefit of a tax incentive as well, so you're able to pay less tax. Yeah,
I know in my late 20s, if I would have thought about buying the house that I was renting and had three other roommates that were helping pay my mortgage, I would have figured out a way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the honest truth. All right, well, let's switch gears a little bit along the lines of affordable housing. Two trends that are kind of happening right now that are helping homes stay affordable. And it all ties into the economy.
Right.
So if we talk back to what's happened this week, interest rates most likely will go down because the stock market is going down.
I think it's more related to the bond market. Bonds go up, rates go down, but we're seeing a strong economy, which is fueled by jobs. You're reading the jobs report; they're fabulous.
Yep.
And with rates coming down, it makes homeownership even more affordable.
So going back to that correlation of the bond market, you're 100%. I agree with that 100%. But what I've noticed is investors move their money from the stock market to the bond market when the stock market is erratic.
Right.
Because the bond market's more secure. So by doing that, they're less enticing people to buy the bond market, so they reduce the rates.
I think that's correct.
Is that a stretch?
No, I don't think so. But I think in terms of translating this to our listeners, is the lower rates mean homes are more affordable, and rates right now are the best they've been in years.
Yeah.
And so home affordability. So then the question comes up, prices are so high, should I buy anyway? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, if the numbers work. We can sit down and do an analysis, and again, it goes right back to the rent versus buy. You're paying a mortgage. Is it cheaper is it a better option for you to own than to rent? And if it is, do it.
Yeah, and I remember back in 2008 and 9 where we were running up in the run up to this crash that happened, right? And one of the big issues at that point was, but people are not making as much money anymore.
Right.
And now we're starting to see that start to happen. As you show, the other trend that's happening with affordable housing is income is rising. Right? Because it's such a tight market, hard to find good people, you have to entice them by offering them more money.
Right. So I think it's you that told me the average hourly earnings have grown 3.2%.
Yeah.
When? Is that over what period? Do you remember?
I believe it was in the first quarter of this year.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yep.
So people are getting more money for doing what they're doing. That's awesome.
So one of the other things just to think about is what I often tell my first-time buyers, buy a house, give yourself a raise. I mentioned that the tax deductions are there. A lot of times what I find is people are concerned that they may pay more on the mortgage than they pay on rent. But if you know that you've got a tax deduction that you don't have now, you can decrease your withholding,
Right.
which thereby increases your actual paycheck.
Right.
And so you're able to
And people do
offset.
that by adding add
exemptions to your withholding. And this is something I tell you, consult your tax advisor to get it right.
Right.
Because you don't want to have a big tax bill at the end of the year.
Right.
But by increasing your withholding, decreasing withholding, you're increasing your paycheck, which offsets which usually is a small increase if there is one in the mortgage payment.
All right. Last topic. We have a few more minutes left, but what I'll do is one of our listeners sent a question in,
Yeah.
and their question was, would changing the smallest bedroom to a walk-in closet off the master affect the value of my home?
It probably would. I think it depends. I mean, if you're going from a 3-bedroom to a 2, I'd say bad idea. It's tougher market on a 2. But if you have a 4 or 5 and you convert, to a big walk-in, it's probably a good idea. I did that on a home recently. We did a rehab, and we had what I would say for the price point of the home, which is $1 million plus. We converted a bedroom to a beautiful walk-in, and it enhanced the value of the home. It increased the value.
Well, I think another thing is to consider, and I didn't know this until an appraiser told me, but above grade rooms versus below grade rooms,
right,
priced differently according to appraisers.
Correct. Yeah.
So if you remove a room on the lower level, that's probably less of an impact on value.
Right.
But if you remove a room on the upper level, that's going to have a bigger impact on value. So just if you're going to do that in order to have some kind of understanding of what you're doing for the value of your house in the future, take those into consideration.
And I'd say for the listener that asked the question, it's more of a case by case. It depends on your current layout, but that's something we could easily analyze for you, and would be happy to do so.
Awesome. All right. Well, that brings us to our break. We're now bringing into the studio 2 fantastic service providers here in the area. So after the break, we'll be back with Sean Tournquist of Seattle Modern Office. So come on back.
Not sure if now is the right time to sell? Worried you missed the market? The Eastside Real Estate Team specializes in helping homeowners maximize their equity when selling. With our proven premier listing service, our clients have sold their homes for more money in less time than the competition. We know you have many choices when working with a real estate agent, but with the Eastside Real Estate Team, you get a team of highly qualified, experienced agents. From staging to deciding if your property is market ready for top dollar. If you're considering selling, call the Eastside Real Estate Team at 425-200-4093 or check out our website at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Is your company planning a new office and wondering who can help you with the transition? Sean Tournquist with Seattle Modern Office helps local companies plan their new office, buy and install furniture, and even relocate existing furniture and equipment. Sean charges nothing for the planning and consultation, but will walk you through all the complicated steps of executing a major office move or remodel and find the best deals on office furniture to outfit the new space. To learn more about Seattle Modern Office, call Sean at 425-761-9473 or reach him online at seattlemo.com. Again, that's 425-761-9473 or seattlemo.com.
Are you wearing too many hats in your small business? Finding yourself wondering where the time went? Do you ever get frustrated with technology that should just work? Then you need Nerds to Go, America's small business IT department. 425-800-NERD. At Nerds to Go, we provide friendly, professional, and reasonably priced solutions for small business owners. From network troubleshooting to hardware repair or training, let Nerds to Go be your IT department. Call Nerds yards to go today. We'll come to you. 425-800-NERD. That's 425-800-NERD.
Tell your friends about Alternative Talk 1150.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Brian and Dan, the Eastside Real Estate Team, Keller Williams, Bellevue. We'd like to welcome Sean Tournquist. With the booming economy, companies across the greater Seattle area are growing and hiring more employees. With that comes leasing larger office space. Our next guest is Sean Tournquist of Seattle Modern Office. Seattle Modern Office is a boutique vendor for office furniture sales and service. Sean, a Redmond, Washington native and Western Washington grade, co-founded Seattle Modern Office and joins us today to discuss the modern office of today. Welcome to the show, Sean. Hey, before we get started, what are your hobbies outside of work? What do you like to do? What spins your propellers?
You know, I'd say I'm pretty average Pacific Northwest born and bred guy. I love to snowboard, love to hike, love to boat in the summertime for those couple months that we have that are actually pretty good weather. And so I've spent a lot of my time outdoors.
Nice.
Awesome. So this is a show about real estate, Sean. So we always ask this question, is thinking back to your childhood, what was something that you remember from the house you grew up in?
Well, I lived in the same house my entire childhood, and it was awesome because I had a lot of land. And I had all this yard to play in, played, football, basketball with my friends. We played street hockey. It was a great neighborhood with a lot of friends. And I remember most particularly building dirt jumps in all the ditches that ran in between all the houses. So we'd get our little BMX bikes out and jump about a foot off the ground. And that
felt pretty cool.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I did that and always went flying over the ditch and over the handlebars and onto the grass.
There was a few of those.
So, realtor question, how much land?
You know what? I don't know. I think they have 2 acres.
Nice. That's
yeah,
great.
probably about 2.
Cool. So, hey, please describe what your company does.
Yeah, my company, you can think of Seattle Modern Office as a one-stop shop for commercial furniture and services. We offer space planning and specification of furniture, new and reclaimed furniture sales, of course, installation of the furniture, and then also moving services. Another thing that we do is office cleanouts and decommission if there's furniture that just needs to get out of a building.
So what do you do with furniture that say they don't need anymore? Where does that go?
That's where reclaiming it comes into play. Because a lot of this furniture is made from the same sort of material. It's MDF substrate with a laminate top. There's no reason why a client on a budget can't reuse one of those tops if they can't afford necessarily all new furniture.
Okay, so I'm hearing a move, right? These processes could be various in times. So how long does a typical process take?
Well, it varies by client. So you can't really buy furniture at a storefront or even online because most commercial furniture is not stocked. It's actually custom manufactured per the specification of both the client and the space.
Mm-hmm.
So you begin by discussing your goals for form and function in the workstations and the office environment, and then we'll start issuing floor plans, color renderings of the furniture products until everything's perfect. And that process varies for every client. Sometimes this planning phase is hitting the mark on the first go-around. But more often, clients will actually go spend a couple months with us identifying the exact layout and details of all the furniture in their office. After an order is placed, then there's lead times on the manufacturing and shipping processes, and that's another 6 to 8 weeks. So, typically I would say 4 or 5 months of planning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do I need an interior designer if I work with you?
That's actually a great question. The short answer is no, not really. Interior designers make great suggestions for aesthetic design and flooring and wall paint and lighting fixtures. And if you hire one, they're certainly going to help out with selecting the color and finishes of all the furniture that we specify as well. But their service package is just separate from our process. So ultimately, if you feel confident picking the colors of your furniture, then it's okay, and we'll help you find the right fit and finish.
So what I'm hearing you say is you can either use a designer or you have your own designers that can help you with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So this question is not in the packet, but can you order Nerf guns and stuff like that? Does that come with this?
There are certain. It's funny because you see those pop up in offices.
I'm just saying, right? You gotta make it fun.
Fully equipped.
No, honestly, and ping pong tables and foosball tables.
Oh, okay.
Actually, in terms of ping pong and foosball tables, we actually do sell those.
That's great.
Good. Yeah. What brands of furniture are we talking about here? And I don't know anything about
Or is this
furniture,
all
so-
custom built?
It is custom built, but there are certain manufacturers that do that. So we are certified retailers for over 80 national and international brands of furniture, and almost every style and price range of furniture you can think of is going to be represented by one of the lines that we sell. We love working with the local manufacturers, Watson, Gavco, Coriander, Element, because their craftsmanship is high quality, and we like to keep the money in the local economy. But then again, like I said, we also love selling reclaimed furniture for clients that might also be on that tighter budget. So there's a lot of different things that we do.
So what areas do you serve?
Anywhere in the Puget Sound, and that's just because it's a personal relationship with all my clients. So we like to do everything, all the business face to face. But if you are a office locally here that's opening up an out of town or out of state office, we can ship furniture anywhere, and we have guys that can fly anywhere to do installs. So we've actually built out offices in Alaska, New York, all around the country.
That's great. So I heard you mention a couple of local manufacturers. Who are they again?
Yeah, I said Gavco, I said Coriander and Watson. These are actually, I would call them pretty nationally recognized brands, especially Watson and Coriander at this point in time. They have showrooms in the Mart down in Chicago every year when you go to the big furniture convention. They're there, they're represented. But actually, Watson is manufactured out of Poulsbo, and Coriander is a manufacturer right out of Woodinville. Gavco's down in Kent, and they do all the same things that the biggest manufacturers in the country can do. So, keeping it local is a great idea, I think.
Awesome. So, what's the typical client profile?
Yeah, well, we're referred to. I would call us a mid-market dealer. So this means that we most often serve companies that are local to the area with 10 to 100 employees occupying one or two floors or maybe up to 30,000 square feet of office space. The enterprise level work for clients like Amazon and Microsoft, not going to be our target client.
Okay. So the companies that kind of surround them.
Yeah, all the littler guys.
You got an example?
Oh, sure, absolutely. I mean, for example, we just did Assurance over in Bellevue. They're a new startup as of maybe a year or two ago for insurance. KGI Properties, brand new office over in Bellevue as well. They're an investment property service. All over. Really, actually, most of our work comes out of the Bellevue, Redmond, Woodinville, Bothell areas as opposed to downtown.
Is there like a company too small?
Not really. If you want one chair, then you could buy it online or at a store. But yeah, if you've got 5 employees and you need to outfit the office with 5 sets of desks and chairs and everything else, I'm gonna take care of you.
Cool.
That's great. So, Sean, what are some hurdles that companies face when outfitting a new office?
I would say time and schedule management. Companies are almost always waiting for the last minute to make decisions, and that's going to squeeze the construction schedule. And then subsequently, it's going to squeeze the furniture install schedule. So I would just say my advice is to avoid that by beginning the planning process early on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So 4 months in early.
4 months is not that
Not early.
early.
That sounds so crazy.
That's great. Good
I
to
know.
know. Really good to know.
All right. So the advantages to working with Seattle Modern Office are?
I would say service. I treat business like it's a transaction, or less like it's a transaction and more like it's a personal relationship, which I mentioned. Our process is long. We generally work together for months before there's any monetary exchange. And so I want to earn your business through upfront work and service. We offer entirely free of charge space planning, design, consultation, project management, and these are billable services at other furniture dealerships and design firms. But if you work with us, you're going to have your hand held throughout the entire process, and you're never going to see a line item for what I would call proper planning for your project.
So, Sean, how do our listeners reach you?
You can find me online, www.seattlemo.com. You can also call me, 425-761-9473. That's my cell. I'll pick it up. I'll help you out.
That's great.
What's that number again?
425-761-9473.
Awesome.
Sean, thanks so much for joining us. Stay tuned for our next segment on home automation featuring Michael Santiago of Nerds to Go. We'll be right back.
Good job, buddy.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact. Homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate Team has been helping many first-time homebuyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate Team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Is your company planning a new office and wondering who can help you with the transition? Sean Tournquist with Seattle Modern Office helps local companies plan their new office, buy and install furniture, and even relocate existing furniture and equipment. Sean charges nothing for the planning and consultation, but will walk you through all the complicated steps of executing a major office move or remodel and find the best deals on office furniture to outfit the new space. To learn more about Seattle Modern Office, call Sean at 425-761-9473 or reach him online at seattlemo.com. Again, that's 425-761-9473 or seattlemo.com.
Ever dreamt of creating a custom piece of jewelry but don't know where to start? Do you have out-of-date, broken, or inherited jewelry you never wear? Maybe you're planning to pop the question but feel overwhelmed with options. No matter your dilemma, experience the difference of working with a personal jeweler at Dynamic Designs. Bring us your ideas, inspirations, or even your old jewelry to restore or repurpose. We work with your style and budget to create a design that you will cherish forever. We carry a vast selection of men's and women's jewelry. Check out Dynamic Design's countless 5-star reviews to see why customers prefer our concierge service in a relaxed Kirkland showroom. Call today for a free consultation, 425-827-7722. Let Dynamic Designs help you create jewelry memories that last a lifetime.
Wherever you go, Alternative Talk 1150 is here for you.
Hey, welcome back to Real Talk with Dan and Brian.
Or Brian and Dan, whichever.
Yep. So, Dan, please introduce our next guest.
All right. Our next segment is going to feature Michael Santiago of Nerds to Go. So Michael began his career consulting with Accenture within their communications and high-tech sector. In 2009, he and his wonderful family moved to the Pacific Northwest to join the startup Aptio. Michael left Aptio to join a Fremont-based company, Outreach.io. In December of 2015, as VP of Customer Service, Michael drove the industry-leading success metrics for the respective teams within his organization, which included customer success, pre-sales, education, and customer support. During his tenure, Michael was fortunate to support Outreach through their Series B and Series C. I don't know what that stuff means, funding. Today, Outreach has been recognized by Forbes, because I don't know investment stuff, but anyways, I digress. Outreach.io is recognized by Forbes as the best 100 cloud companies and LinkedIn's top startups for 2018. However, he started yearning for more.
That's right.
Yearning for more. Michael was looking to fulfill his dream of authentically serving customers in need in 2018. He launched Nerds to Go. Nerds to Go in Bellevue is an IT and computer repair company located on Northeast 8th in Bellevue. MacBooks, PCs, smartphones, iPads, if it's electronic, if it has to do with tech, Michael is willing to talk nerdy with you. So today, Michael brings us insight into all the fun tech around home automation. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Hello, hello.
All right, I'm so glad you. And on a side note, I've known Michael for about a year.
Yep, that's correct.
Fantastic person, great energy, and when there's no doubt you've accomplished all this stuff. But what he accomplishes in his organization, you can tell he cares about helping the consumer in a place where technology is kind of like, oh yeah, my cousins will do that, right?
That's right.
Being able to actually have a foothold in a place like that is no small feat. So, who does Nerds to Go serve?
Okay, so real easy to think about it. We are for the little people. So if you're a small business and or you're a resident.
Or a Lilliputian.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
I was thinking Tyrion Lannister. Sorry, I don't know.
Yes. So we're for the little guy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, as we get started here, please tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do when you're not being a nerd?
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Okay, good question. You don't just take that hat off number one.
So once a nerd, always a nerd?
Yeah. And so it may look like, with the family, I've got, I don't know if we've said anything about that, but I've got a wife almost married nearly 18 years and a 12-year-old son about to be 13 and a 10-year-old girl. And you might find us doing Settlers of Catan on the weekend or going out playing some basketball. That's, I know, not nerdy, but we do float outside of that zone occasionally. Yeah.
So how do you use home automation in your store?
Okay, couple ways. Number one, hypothetically, let's just say I'm out in the road and trying to get a hold of the guys back at the store, and no one answers. Well, I've got this little nifty app that allows me to see where are they using the camera.
You got them low jacked or something?
I pretty much do. Yeah. I recommend all
not
do
chipped.
that. That's correct. So in terms of convenience, I could see quickly, these guys are busy. They're helping other customers. But one of my favorite ways is that when we actually leave for the day, we say to Alexa, close. She says back, peace out, nerds. Lights go off. Open sign changes to closed. Robots know they're going to be vacuuming soon.
What?
And we don't do anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's great. Love it.
So, I forgot to ask you the personal question about home. So I'm going to do that now.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because who cares? It's our show. We can do this however we want, right?
Yeah.
Right, Brian? All right. So thinking back to your childhood, growing up, what's a memory that just stands out in the home you grew up in?
It's amazing how smells will bring back the memories. And a couple of weeks ago, my sister was cooking, and this is traditional Puerto Rican food. And she brought me back to my mom cooking in the kitchen. And it doesn't matter. It can't be recreated. Those spices created its own distinct smell that brought me back at least 30 years.
What was she cooking?
Ooh. So pollo guisal is one. Pernil is a roast pork that would happen. But your traditional arroz con gandules will also have some spices included within it called sofrito, things like that.
Nice.
I'm hungry.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so getting back to the home automation. Sorry, I wanted to go there.
Yeah.
'cause that's
No,
important.
that's core for us.
I love it. So home automation, it isn't just a novelty. What more is there to it?
Yeah, I think a lot of folks will just quickly think of Alexa and booming some music through it. But if you look at some of the other use cases, I think you find some true value in that. So give an example in terms of safety. There are certain routines out there should a fire occur, and consider an entire smart home where the lights will turn red because we know that in case of fires, you see better in red light.
Oh,
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, as well as interacting with say your nest to shut off any additional air being blown so as to not feed the fire any further, as well as contacting those in your emergency contacts to let them know something's occurred. All that can happen at the detection of something smart like a Nest Protect.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah.
Really. So, I think here I'll reference my wife, who would say this is a novelty. She would probably be a person who would object to this.
Yeah.
And so how would you answer that about it being a novelty?
Well, I think in addition to safety, you could also look at just convenience too. If you've ever lost your keys and spent more than 5 minutes looking for it, I'd say you're a candidate for some smart home tech.
Diane, are you listening?
Yeah.
So what's one piece of smart home tech that everybody should have?
Well, I think you probably saw a lot of this past Christmas holiday season. Sorry, video doorbells are great, and one step short of driving and patrolling your neighborhood is just being able to see who's going around with package thievery, and beyond that, knowing who's there and can help is fantastic.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there because that segment is one I've wanted to talk about for quite some time.
Okay,
Which?
The doorbell.
Oh yeah, right.
So
the porch pirates.
my client had one of these, had the home listed, and as people were approaching the house, they would say what they thought of the house. When they were leaving the house, they would say what they thought of the house.
Yeah.
And we had that information.
that's awesome.
Oh wow.
So
Well,
be careful
you know,
if you're out
yeah.
there, agents showing homes, everything you say can and will
Right.
be used against you
I
in
coach-
negotiations.
So I always coach my buyers. Let's talk outside. I guess that's not even enough.
No,
Let's
you gotta
talk in
go
the
away
car.
from the house.
Yeah,
That's
because
correct.
it's so common now for people to be able to listen. And I've had it happen. It's rare.
Which one is best? Ring is like the most common, but
Yeah, we're fans of Ring. We have Ring in the store that you could play with. And it also has some features where when enough rings are put together in a neighborhood, it provides a neighborhood watch.
oh,
Yeah,
Oh wow,
it's fancy.
interesting.
But your use case is also fantastic in that as you're outside, sometimes we even
Yeah.
do we put some door knockers. And when we do and we recognize it's a Ring, we like to give a little hello because we know what's happening.
yeah,
that day.
wave,
Yeah.
say hi.
Yes.
Don't
Yeah,
forget.
Yeah.
that's funny. So isn't this stuff expensive?
No. Let me tell you about a camera. So there's a camera out there that swivels, does motion tracking, infrared, ability to record to the cloud for up to 30 days. Has features that allow you to speak through it and hear from it. All of that for under $40.
Oh, you're kidding.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a
That's
local
impressive.
company called Wise.
Wise, yeah.
They're based out.
Scouts.
Don't you
I've
have
got-
one of those?
I have several.
Yeah.
I love them. They're easy to set up. They're
Did you say
the
they're Boy
quality's
Scouts?
great.
They're based out of
Oh, I thought
Kirkland.
you said they were
Yeah,
Boy
there's a couple of
Scouts.
Amazon people
Yeah.
created that, didn't they? Yeah,
That's correct. Yeah.
Sweet.
Huh. So I think, again, thinking about Diane and her aspect, her comment about our Alexa and Big Brother always listening. So what do you know about listening in on the devices? Is that something people should be concerned about?
In short, I think there's good reason for people to be tentative, and I think it asks really good questions. But if you research, and let's just look at how, say, Alexa uses recordings, it's intended to be, and it is used in an anonymous way to help with speech recognition. Beyond that, anybody can do something nefarious without the right
You're talking like
precautions.
hacking the devices?
Sure.
Yeah. So how secure can you make them?
It's as secure as you make your network.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that's on the homeowner.
But that's something you can help with. though.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Easy
password should not be password.
We-
Oh, yeah.
We,
yeah.
we recommend against password in 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, is that common?
It's okay to go 5, 6 then?
Possibly. We can have a discussion.
Yeah. Oh, fun.
Yeah.
We can have a discussion. All right. So what's a good way to start?
A good way to start. I think a lot of folks do want to jump into it with a little bit of fun. And I got to tell you, I've got a little Mega Blast speaker with Alexa built into it. So
What is this? Mega Blast?
Yeah, Mega Blast. They're portable speakers that you can bring wherever you want. And what's great about it is if you set it up in a Wi-Fi environment, you can jam out to your favorite song and ask it, hey, what am I listening? Alexa, what am I listening to? And then it will repeat back Taylor Swift for you.
Yeah. for
Yeah.
me. Mhm.
Right. And so no longer will you go wondering what that song was about.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a great way to start.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead, Brian.
All right. Hey, what's the silliest thing that has become smartened?
Okay, I say silly, but
Yeah.
part of me also feels like maybe I should get this. They have created a smart pot,
A smart pot.
the kind that you put flowers in.
Not the one you smoke.
Oh, fun.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
And it's intended to help those of us who don't have green thumbs.
Oh.
And it's intended to understand the pH balance and how much water is needed. So you call it a smart pot. I think it's a dumb pot for me.
idea.
Yeah.
Dumb person.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh.
So one of my friends actually was building a prototype of some kind of apparatus that would do that. So I don't know if it's the same company or not.
Well, yeah, a couple of years back, maybe.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty crazy. In addition to home automation, why else should listeners call Nerds to Go?
Oh, okay. So I meant it when I said in the beginning, we serve small businesses and residents, and we know that space pretty well. So whether it's networks or whether it's your printer hates you, whatever it may be, we've seen it and we can help you get out of it. And oftentimes saving you tons of hours.
Oh, my. Michael and I were chatting before the show about a problem my wife and I had with our network. And he smiled, and it's like, such an easy solution. We spent easily 2 days on it and finally found a workaround, but that's a good reason to hire a pro that knows the system, knows how it works, and just gets it done.
That's right.
So, yeah.
So you guys will repair cell phones?
Everything from cell phones all the way up through
Cracked screens?
cracked screens. Yep.
Oh, my.
Yep.
And where, again, are you located specifically?
So on Northeast 8th and Bellevue, easiest way to think of it is across from Whole Foods.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So with Mother's Day almost here, you have any recommendations for a great gift?
Yeah.
For the nerdy mom?
That's right. Well, you can make mom more nerdy by providing something like an Echo Spot. Echo Spots are just a great way to, it's a device that you can put in a central location that allows her to video chat with you. And if you've got kids or if you've got cats, whatever it is that mom wants to see and maybe you don't live close by, it's a great way to stay connected with them.
Good to know.
Maybe, do you have one with your mom?
Mother's Day is here, dude.
There you go.
This is a great idea, Dan.
Hey, solved it for you. Oh my gosh. So a little full disclosure is I've got Alexa set up in my house. I can go outside onto the deck and I can say, Alexa, party time. Music comes on, Taylor Swift playing, lights go on, and we have a good time out there.
My favorites. Alexa, tell me a joke.
Tell me a joke.
Yeah.
She can talk like a pirate as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'll try that.
Now, you didn't mention like Google Home.
Correct.
Do you work with that stuff too?
We do.
Okay.
We do. Google Home, Facebook's got some cool tech coming out as well.
Okay.
Yep. We can work with just about anything out there.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Michael. It was fun learning all the cool smart home tech out there. How do our listeners get a hold of you?
Okay. You've got a couple of options. One, you can call us at the store, 425-366-8234, or you can email us at BellevueWa for Bellevue, Washington @nerdstogo.com.
Got it. All right.
There we go.
Well, okay, after the break, we have some upcoming listings we're going to talk about, and we'll have some final thoughts.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact: homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate Team has been helping many first-time homebuyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate Team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Feeling disorganized? Do you have trouble finding things in your home or feel overwhelmed when you open a drawer in the kitchen? Does your house add unnecessary stress to your already busy life? If the answer is yes to any of these questions, the professional organizers from Born to Organize would love to help. Born to Organize specializes in general home organizing, downsizing, home sale preparation, and move-in assistance. Unlike other organizing businesses, we also have a full-time licensed carpenter to assist with larger system installations and handyman projects. In as little as one visit, Born to Organize can help eliminate stress and anxiety in your life by utilizing an individualized approach with each client that includes decluttering and creation of simple systems within your home. Born to Organize serves Snohomish County, King County, and is available to travel throughout the United States on a per-project basis. Jamie Bourne and her team of organizers are simplification experts and love nothing more than making a house feel like a home. Please visit our website at BOURNE2ORGANIZE.com. You can also call us at 650-274-4308 or email Jamie at bourne2organize@gmail.com.
Are you wearing too many hats in your small business? Finding yourself wondering where the time went? Do you ever get frustrated with technology that should just work? Then you need Nerds to Go, America's small business IT department. 425-800-NERD. At Nerds to Go, we provide friendly, professional, and reasonably priced solutions for small business owners. From network troubleshooting to hardware repair or training, let Nerds to Go be your IT department. Call Nerds to Go today. We'll come to you. 425-800-NERD. That's 425-800-NERD.
Find out the latest about your favorite shows on Alternative Talk 1150. Check out 1150kknw.com.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Brian and Dan, Eastside Real Estate Team. Dan, tell us about your new listing in Tallis.
Well, we've got a wonderful listing coming up. It's a Bernstead home, which if you know kind of the quality and the detail there in the upper tier, they're going to be warmer woods finishes. And it's in the Bridges, which is Tallis is, I want to say south Issaquah, I guess. It's not south, it's west. Sorry. It's kind of west.
On the west side.
Off Highway 900. Yeah.
Right.
They're talking about building a new school there. So it's 3 bedrooms. 2.5 bath. I don't have a price on it. It will be launched this afternoon. So we're kind of still talking about prices. How we do it. We have conversations about price right up until launch date. So it's going to be a good home. We're going to have it open this weekend from 1 to 4 on Saturday and Sunday. So come on by.
Nice. So last week I mentioned the new listing I had in Demery. We put that in contract over the weekend.
Nice.
The week before, my Sammamish White House farm in contract. The market's hot. Market's a good time. If you're thinking of selling, there's never been a better time.
Never been a better time.
And for buyers, there's increasing inventory and great rates. So it's a great time for that.
So with this last segment, we've got kind of a Q&A. Some of our listeners have sent us some questions. So I'm just going to fire this one to you because you kind of answered one. But why would now be a good time to buy even when the market is so high?
You know, it's all relative. When you compare affordability now to even a decade ago, we're actually more affordable today because of low interest rates. And, you know, prices are going up, but values are going up. So you're buying in a market that if you wait, you're just going to pay more. And usually the trend we see is that the argument I hear sometimes is, well, I'm going to save up more money. Typical buyer can't save enough to overcome the appreciation that we're seeing.
Right.
So you're better to jump in and buy the house and start getting the benefits than to hold off for a better time. If you're waiting for the market to crash, I think it's going to be a real long wait.
Right.
And you have people say, hey, we're waiting for another 2007-8. I, for one, am certainly hoping we don't see that, and I don't see any indication that we will.
Right.
So waiting for that reason is not a good choice.
So as I reflect on the two guests we had today, I think about the home getting smarter and in a lot of different ways. I'm actually in the middle of a remodel. And so as we're talking with Michael, I'm kind of thinking, okay, I'm going to get switches in this one just because of the value that it's going to add to the property. So about 2 years ago, I talked to one of the builders in the area and I said, hey, are you guys going to put LED lights in the house? And he's like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to use the CFLs of all, you know.
Oh, gosh.
Those are like the worst ones ever. I don't understand.
When I list a home, I have large boxes of CFLs I've removed and replaced with warm lighting. Yeah. And, you know, it matters. You walk into a room, and if it feels cold, buyers have a harder time visualizing themselves in that house. So
either that or you show up like 10 minutes early and flip on all the lights.
So let them warm up.
Yeah.
Don't you still need a hazmat suit to get rid of those CFLs?
You need to wear gloves because if they break and you get cut, there's mercury in those, and the wound won't heal. And so you better glove up when you're removing a CFL.
Is that what's going on here? No.
I was wondering about that. No. So during the break, I asked Michael about a consult to come out and take a look, and I'm pretty sure you said that was a free service that you offer.
Well, that was for you.
For me?
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Oh, well, there we go.
We actually offer free in-store diagnosis.
Free in-store.
Or consultation in-store.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because I got to tell you, I'm excited about having him come out and check out my house. Diane, I don't know, maybe I'll have to work on that one. But
fun, cool gadgets always. Yeah. I got banned from Best Buy. By my wife.
Oh, good. It wasn't Best Buy.
No. No. She's like, you're not allowed to go in there since we're talking about them. I hadn't brought Lisa up yet, so there you go. Yeah. So with home automation, with the economy the way it's going, I want to know, like, is Seattle ready? Is it going to be the world-class city that it needs to be?
Oh, don't get me started. There's some issues going on that I think Seattle government's got to figure out. But elections are coming, and hopefully they'll figure.
We'll talk about that. We can talk about the homelessness issue that's going on, and anybody that saw the was it Eric Johnson's piece on Seattle is Dying.
Oh, sure.
You know, our view for the listeners is amazing, right? We're looking at the Olympic Mountains, and I lived in Seattle for 7 years before moving to the east side. And I really, I have that sense of pride that when people come here, I want to show them Seattle.
Right.
Gosh, it's really hard right now. So I'm hopeful that people are going to understand that we've got to make some hard choices and help people in a sincere way.
Right.
And housing is one of those fundamental things that people, that all of us around the table here, we went back to a memory in our life when we felt at home and feel that comfort and strength. And we need to help people get there.
Right.
And I really firmly believe in that. We've got to find some solutions for that.
Yeah. I work actively in affordable housing, working with government primarily. And there's a lot of good things happening, but I think part of it, we've got to find ways to create that affordable housing, and we've got to give people resources. I look at your reference to the documentary Seattle is Dying, and a lot of it has to do with addiction and mental illness. So I think we need to work on the root problems first, and then along with that, right now, I for one am working on advocating affordable housing options, and there is progress being made. So that's good news.
Well, and I think it's important to you can never solve the problem by just throwing stuff at it. You've got to go after the root cause.
Right.
Yeah. So along that line. Things to do. I don't know if anybody got out this last weekend. It's been phenomenal.
The weather is fabulous.
Some of our team was at the Cinco de Mayo party in Redmond, in the new Redmond Park. That park's pretty awesome. So that's a great place to check out. This weekend, again, Lake Sammamish State Park, they are doing a paddling festival. So does anybody here like to get on the lake and paddle around?
Yeah. Well, not paddle. I fall in.
Fall in. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you swim?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, check this out. Largest event in the Pacific Northwest, the Paddling Festival brings retailers, manufacturers, and athletes together in one location. 60 paddle sports businesses offering canoes, kayaks, stand-up paddleboards, which, my opinion on stand-up paddleboards. Sup.
That's how I fall in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sit down. You won't fall in. In a kayak.
I kayak and I don't fall in. Thank you. Yes.
That's my point. It's a stand-up paddleboard, you're going to fall in, all right?
Yes.
So try yoga on your stand-up. I've seen people doing that. It's crazy.
They teach a class on yoga on paddleboards over in the Ballard.
Yeah, I've seen it there. Yep. So anyway,
get me started with those guys. So anyways, this is Friday from 2 to 7 p.m. and Saturday from 9 until 5. Free attendance. You will need a parking pass for the
state park.
Which I think are annually like $30.
Yeah, I think it's like $5 a day is my memory.
Yeah, what's the weather supposed to be like? I'm checking my phone.
I think we're holding. I think we're going to still be in the great weather.
Good, because my appliances are outside.
Attendance is free to the public. Tours and on-water demos are $10 for the day.
Yeah.
So it's a cheap date.
Cheap date. Get out, enjoy the east side, enjoy the PNW, and so that's a wrap. That's our show.
Thanks for listening.
I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank Michael Santiago with Nerds to Go. Sean Tournquist with Seattle Modern Office. Thanks for coming in the studio. We had a blast, and we'll hope to have you back again soon.
Take care.
Is your company planning a new office and wondering who can help you with the transition? Sean Tournquist with Seattle Modern Office helps local companies plan their new office, buy and install furniture, and even relocate existing furniture and equipment. Sean charges nothing for the planning and consultation, but will walk you through all the complicated steps of executing a major office move or remodel and find the best deals on office furniture to outfit the new space. To learn more about Seattle Modern Office, call Sean at 425-761-9473 or reach him online at seattlemo.com. Again, that's 425 761-9473 or seattlemo.com.
Are you wearing too many hats in your small business? Finding yourself wondering where the time went? Do you ever get frustrated with technology that should just work? Then you need Nerds to Go, America's small business IT department. 425-800-NERD. At Nerds to Go, we provide friendly, professional, and reasonably priced solutions for small business owners. From network troubleshooting to hardware repair or training, let Nerds to Go be your IT department. Call Nerds to Go today. We'll come to you. 425-800-NERD. That's 425-800-NERD.